Very good morning to all my dear students. Here we go with the disclaimer. It is hereby declared that the production of the said content is meant for non-commercial, scholastic, and research purposes only. We admit that some of the content or the images provided in this channel's video may be obtained through the routine Google image searches. A few of them may be under copyright protection. Such usage is completely inadvertent. It is quite possible that we overlook to give full scholarly credit to the copyright owners. We believe that the non-commercial, only for educational use of the material, may allow the video in question fall under fair use of such content. However, we honor the copyright holders' rights and the video should be deleted from our channel in case of any such claim received by us or reported to us. Please inform your classmates to join as soon as possible. So, after the completion of vision, mission, and values, we'll go to the next topic, that is business model. Now, business model is directly connected with the profit making. In spite of your strategy, if your business is not able to earn handsome profit, then it's of no use. Finally, what we people consider is profit, is money. We have invested lakhs and crores of rupee in our business. Now, if our business is not able to give you handsome profit, then it's of no use. Even though you have a golden strategy, but your business is not able to give you profit, it's of no use. So, business model is precisely focuses on profit itself. Please be online. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry for the delay. Yeah. So, business model. Whatever business you have, it must make good profit. We'll share one example with you. Kingfisher Airlines and Kingfisher Beers. Kingfisher Airlines got bankrupt while Kingfisher Beer is still rocking. It's not like that they are producing beer, that's why they are rocking. But their business model is really very successful and their business model is that much concrete that they are earning handsome profit from that business. And it's all about profit making. Now, any damn businessman, any damn entrepreneur will first check it out the revenue, cost, and profit analysis. How much amount we are spending, how much amount we are investing, what will be the fixed cost, what will be the variable cost, what will be the cash inflow, what will be the cash outflow, and at last, what will be there on my hand. Means your profit amount. It will be profit or it will be loss. Depends on your business policy, depends on your business model. So it is must for every businessman to earn profit. Without profit, not even a single business can survive for longer time of period. So do the revenue cost profit analysis and then check out whether your business is viable or not, whether your business is having enough capabilities to generate good profits or not. So a business model addresses how do we make money in this business. Is the strategy capable of delivering good bottom line result? What bottom line result means? The end use, the end objectives, the end goal of the business, and that is profit. For that, you have to go with the revenue cost profit analysis, and in that, with the help of that, you will come to know whether any profit will be there on your hand or not at last. So look at the revenue stream, look at the cost structure, look at the profit margins, and then you will find return on investment. For example, you have invested 50 lakh rupees, you have invested 1 crore rupees, and depends on that. Approx 15 to 18% return we can invest from the market, because it's parity, it's in the market parity. So we can expect that much return from the market. If you are getting more than that, we can consider you are getting above average return or superior return. If you are getting 15 to 18, it's a moderate return. If you are getting less than that, you have to do certain changes in your business model so that you can easily earn the handsome profit. Now, relationship between strategy and a business model. Strategy deals with companies' competitive initiatives. Now, what we should do. For example, our marketing department is not performing well. What we should do so that marketing can do better? What we should do so that finance can do better? What we should do so that HR can do better? It is about competitive initiatives. What we should do, because of that we can survive in the market. We can be on the top in the market. We can beat our competitors. We can increase our market share and all those things. While business model is precisely focusing on 3 parameters: revenue, cost, and profit. How much revenue we will be able to generate, what will be the cost structure, and at last what will be there on our hand. That's it, very simple. So business model concern whether revenues and cost flowing from the strategy demonstrate a business can be employed, profitable or viable. If your business is not profitable, then you should step back from this business, and the example is Tata Docomo. Even though Tata Group, the biggest conglomerate of Asia, they have stepped back from this telecom industry. Tata Docomo, their venture, they have stepped back because it was not profitable, it was not viable. So this is what about business model in precise we can say. Now coming to the next one, that is stakeholders in the business. Today your business is on top. You are touching the sky, your market share is very much high. All the credit goes to your stakeholders. Now stakeholders are the one who is directly or indirectly connected with the company. It may be your distributor, it may be your supplier, it may be your customers, it may be your shareholders, it may be your drivers too. It may be any damn body who is directly or indirectly connected with the company. So every company should keep a great concern towards their stakeholders so that they can be successful in the business. Now we have classified stakeholders in the 3 divisions. Let's see. First of all, let's understand what stakeholders are. Stakeholders are the individuals and group who can affect the vision and mission of the company. Yes, because they are there in the group. Even though they are individual, they can easily affect your vision and mission. Are affected by the strategic outcomes achieved, whatever the company has done in the last few years, in the last 5 months, in the last 1 year, and so on. They can expect good result. If I am your shareholder, if I am investing in your company, definitely I am expecting handsome return, whether it will be a capital gain or it can be in terms of dividend. I am expecting because I have invested. So are affected by the strategic outcome achieved and have enforceable claims on a firm's performance. If firm is not performing, your stakeholder will indicate you that you are not doing good. You need to improve. Your stakeholders will make you aware about certain things, and so that they can affect your vision and mission too. So that's why stakeholder relationship can therefore be a great source for competitive advantages, sustainable competitive advantages, the advantages which your competitors are not getting and you are getting. For example, if you have really very good terms with your suppliers, then you will get raw materials time to time. If you have really very good terms with your customers, then customers will give first preference to purchase your products, and that will lead you to be the market leader. That will help you to become movers and shakers in the market. So always have good terms, always have healthy terms, always have congenial relationship with your stakeholders. Now we have divided into three: capital market shareholders. In that, the first one is shareholders, equity shareholders, preference shareholders, debenture holders, or any damn organization who has financed your company, who has given capital or some sort of money to your company. So shareholders will be considered as your capital market stakeholders. In that, equity shareholders, preference shareholders, debenture holders. Apart from that, major suppliers of the capital, like we can say the banks and lending institutions. Then the next one is product market shareholders. Basically, it starts with the primary customers, who are your main customers, your target audience, your loyal customers, your regular customers, and so on. So the primary, your customers will be there. Then suppliers will be there, from where you are getting your raw materials. The host communities where you are doing your businesses. Host communities in which area you are doing your businesses. For example, any foreign company is coming to India and doing their businesses in India, then India will become host for those companies. So whenever and wherever you are doing business, make sure your host communities must be very much happy with you. Let me share one real incident with you. Have you heard the name of Kala Dera? Kala Dera, Rajasthan, Coca-Cola. Okay. So Coca-Cola has established one plant, packaging mineral water plant in Rajasthan, Kala Dera. Kala Dera is a city, or you can say the town, where they have established their plant. Now what happened, the groundwater level was already low, but then also with the help of Samdam Dandaved, Coca-Cola get all the approvals to start their business at that place. Later on, what happened, the groundwater level was decreasing day by day and it went to zero. Around 70 towns, 70 home areas, or you can say the 70 kasbas were suffering a lot from the mineral water, you can say, for the drinking water facility. Groundwater become almost zero. Then those kasbah, those small towns have complained to government, and later on Coca-Cola has to wind up their businesses. Yes, Coca-Cola has to wind up, and in compensation of that, Coca-Cola has, I think, generated more than 250 boats for providing them drinking water. So always have good terms, always have very healthy terms with the host communities. If your host communities are not happy with your business, you will be in trouble very soon. Then the unions, labor unions, workers, and all those things, have good terms with the unions too. This is the oldest concept, but nowadays unions are not that much, critical. Apart from certain incidents of Maruti Suzuki that took place in the Haryana, the one at Tata that took place in the Jamshedpur, and few others. Otherwise, unions are not that much critical nowadays. But then also, we must have good terms. As a businessman, as an entrepreneur, as an industrialist, we should have good terms with unions too. Apart from that, the organizational shareholders like employees, managers, top level managers, middle level managers, bottom level managers, executive directors, non-executive directors, non-managers, CEO, CFO, COO. In short, those who are getting some sort of perks from your company, you must have keep congenial, healthy, good terms with those, so that it can become your source of competitive advantages, sustainable competitive advantages. So this is about classification of stakeholders. Any doubts for this, guys? Any doubts for this business model and stakeholders? Then we'll move to the next one, that is external environment. Yes, any doubts from you guys? Great. Okay, then we'll move to the next one, that is external environment. Now, first of all, what do we mean by environment? Very basic things that we can say, it's surroundings. Whatever the surroundings are there, we can consider them as an environment. What are the forces are there, and because of there something is existing, we can also consider them as an environment. So environment is most important, whether it is internal environment or external environment. For any business, for any unit, for any organization, to study environment is the most important aspect, irrespective of its nature, whether it is internal or external. As far as the internal environment is concerned, we should go with the SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. As far as external environment analysis is concerned, we should go with the political environment, legal environment, economic environment, social environment, cultural environment, competitors environment, technological environment, industry environments, and so on. These are the environments, these are the codes, these are the tools that we have to measure as and when we are there in the business. Because we are connected with the society, we are connected with the government, we are connected with the economy from business point of view. We are connected with all these parties. And if any changes took place in certain environment, it is going to directly or indirectly affect our business. So we have to analyze each and every environment, depends on our business size. If your business is at small scale, you can take light. But if you are working at a very larger level, like Tesla, Reliance, Tata, Aditya Birla, HDFC, ICICI, and few other companies, then you have to be very much updated because it is going to affect your business a lot. Let me give you an example. Before 5 years, Maharashtra government has banned plastic. So those who are there in this business, plastic or plastic related business, they have to be very much vigilant because now it's high time for them to switch their businesses because government is going to ban it. Second example, Nitin Gadkari. I think you guys have heard the name of Nitin Gadkari. He has very bluntly spoken that we are going to focus more on renewable energy. We will come up with the electronic vehicles, and every automobile company has to switch to electronic vehicles. So this was the early signals that Nitin Gadkari has already given, and nowadays you can see the change. People are focusing, or you can say the industrialists are focusing more on the renewable energy. Recently, this one, Ola scooter, the battery scooter, the next one, EV car by Tata, the Tesla and few other companies are there. So this is how you have to constantly analyze the external environment and how those changes, how those trends is going to affect your businesses. So the environment literally means the surroundings, the external objects that influences or circumstances under which something or someone exists. So the environment of any organization is the aggregate of all conditions, events, and influences that took place in the surrounding. It is not about the political environment, it is not about the economic environment, it is not about the industry environment. It is the aggregation of all the things that took place in the surrounding. and it is going to affect your business. Now, these are the few characteristics of environment. The first one is environment is complex. It's like a web. You cannot easily measure it. It's like a web. You cannot identify the early signals in certain cases. You cannot easily monitor it. But yes, if you have really great experience and insight, then you can easily monitor it. You can easily judge it. You can easily forecast it. But for that, huge experience is required. So by the time, what we can say that environment, external environment is complex because it may change at any point of time. Let's say if you talk about the 20th March 2020, the situation was quite normal. And in the 23rd March, the situation was quite different because of COVID, lockdown was there. So it's a complex one. Then the environment is dynamic. It's constantly ongoing. It is not like that if the one changes has been take place, then after no changes will be there. It is constantly, it is dynamic. The dynamic changes will be there, constant changes will be there, constant upgradations will be there, and so on. Then environment is multifaceted. It is not like that only political environment is going to affect the business. Economic environment, social environment, cultural environment, all other environments are also going to affect your business. So it is not only about the one phase. It is about the many phases that is going to affect your businesses. And the last and the most important one is environment having far-reaching impact. Like if you throw a stone in the water or in the pond, you will find a ripple impact. The same like that, if any decision has been taken in the political environment, any decision that has been taken in the economic environment, it may affect your business after several times, or you may say after several months or years. But yes, definitely it is going to affect a lot to your business. So far-reaching impact will be there. Now, these are the external environment. The first one is economic environment, how the economy, how the per capita income, how inflation rate, how interest rate, how national income, all those things, how the spending power, how the disposable income, all those things is going to affect your business. We'll share examples when we came to that topic. Then the second one is socio-cultural. The social, you can say the attitudes, beliefs, mindset, traditions, customs, and all those things. How those things is going to affect your businesses. Then the global environment. How globally, what are the changes that took place at global level? Is it going to affect your businesses? Then yes, definitely. China is the biggest example for this. The global changes. Certain examples like Panama Nahar, if you guys have read that articles, Panama Nahar, Panama Suez or something like that. So the global environment, as and when global environment changes, it will directly affect your business. Then technological changes, like we are shifting to the electronic vehicles, we are shifting from these keypad phones to touchpad, and now the more is coming on the way. Then political environment, legal environment. The legal environment that from GST, like we can say, the government policies, government rules and regulations. The next one is which one? I forgot actually. The government are also planning to come up with that law. The another one is Crucible. You guys might be aware about that. The next one is on the way. I forgot its name. But yes, the government rules and regulation that is going to affect your businesses. And demographic environment. These are the things that are going to affect your businesses at plus or minus level. Apart from that, the industry environment that includes threats of new entrants, whatever in industry you are, how many competitors are there, how many new competitors are coming to your industry. If the n number of competitors are there, then it will be a bloodbath. Your profit margins will suffer, and it will be tough for you to survive in certain industries. Then power of suppliers, this is nothing but a Porter's 5 force model that I will explain in the later on stage. Then power of suppliers, power of buyers, product substitutes, and intensity of rivalry. whether it is cutthroat competition, healthy competition, or what. So these are the external environment that one has to consider, that one has to observe as and when they are there in the business. Now, how can they can do it? It's a very simple. They can scan it, early signals. You have to keep your radar on so that you can identify the early signals. Like Nitin Gadkari has already stated that we will focus on the renewable energy. So accordingly, you have to check it out. You have to monitor it. Is there any changes? Whatever the statement has been said by the Nitin Gadkari, is there any changes in the trend? Is there any pattern that got changed or something like that? So first you have to keep your radar on. You have to identify early signals, and later on the next step is to monitor it. Whatever the early signals you got, please make a cross verification whether they are going to change the existing trend, latest trend, or they are going to change the behavior of the customers and so on. And then you can forecast on the basis of the monitoring things that you have done. That yes, now government is focusing on the renewable energy, so we have to be there in certain businesses like Reliance is good. Reliance is there now in the battery businesses, the biggest competitor for Exide, Emron, and few other companies. So they can also forecast. And at last, assessing is there that will show you determining the timings and importance of environmental changes and trends for firms, strategies, and their management. Now we have gone through with the scanning, we have monitored it, we have forecasted the same. What are the changes now we should do in our strategy so we can survive for the future course of action? We need to do something according to the environmental changes so that we can survive in the market. Let me give you an example. This one. Aviation industry in this Air India. Nowadays, after COVID situation, Air India has started many flights directly. Let's say from Rajkot to Goa, Rajkot to Delhi, and certain. They have used charter planes, very small size plane, but yes, they have made changes in their strategy so that at least they can have liquidity in their hand. So accordingly, depends on the market situation, you need to put certain changes in your strategy so that you can be in the market. In certain cases, sometimes it is not more precisely to earn money. It is much needed to be there in the market. Sometimes situations are also like this, where you have to focus on your existence, on your defensive mode, instead rather than focusing more on profit. If you are there in the market, you can earn the profit later, but you are kicked out from the market, then there is no chance to earn the profit. So sometimes you have to keep your profit in a side and you have to focus more on your existence. If Kodak company, Kodak is the biggest company. If you talk about the 1990s and 2000, you may see your father's wedding album, you definitely find Kodak paper. The printing was there in the Kodak paper, but nowadays company is not there in the market. So it is not about always profit. Sometimes you have to be flexible and you have to focus more on your existence. If you are there in the market, later on you can earn very high. So these are the external environment analysis. Now the remote environment, and in that pest, remote environment, and the pest is the part of that. Apart from pest, one more is there, and that is legal environment, or you can say the legal factor. In exam, you may find the question like this: pestle, or you may find the pest plus E. That is the normal one, or you can find the pestle analysis, where you have to add the legal environment, or you can say the legal factors. Now these are the factors. P stands for political factors, E stands for economic factors, S for social, T for technological, E for ecological, and L for legal. Now these are the factors that are going to affect your businesses like anything. Let's see one by one how they can affect your businesses. The first one is economic factors. In that, the consumption pattern. How people, or you can say how customers are consuming your product. If you are there in the seasonal business, like you are making raincoats, you are making firecrackers, you are making kites and something like that, then accordingly you have to consider the consumer pattern, how they are going to consume it. And on the basis of that, you have to plan out your production schedule. Then the interest rates, how interest rates are going to affect. For example, you are there in the real estate business, government has decreased interest rates. Now home loan is easily available at 6.8% interest rate. So that's actually good for you, because you are there in the real estate. People will easily purchase your home. What are the sites you have developed? People will purchase it because their purchasing power has been increased with the help of loan the government is giving. Now, same time, if you consider that government is giving loan at the rate of 14%, very few people will take loan, but now government is giving at 7%, majority will take the loan. So this is actually good for your business. Then inflation rates, again, like we can see the oil prices, the edible oils and the petrols and all those, the prices are moving really very high. That is going to affect our purchasing power. For example, if I can say that I do have 2,000 rupees to spend, now in that majority of the amount has been spent on the oil and petrol, the remaining savings will affect, and accordingly it will affect my entire cycle. So this is also going to affect your business. Then currency exchange rates like dollar, euro, yen and all others. Then GDP, gross national income, the general availability of credit, how much credit is available for each and every civilians, for each and every citizens, that we need to check it out. Like in Pakistan, the general availability of credit is quite less. It's highest in the British, we can say the Britain, it's highest in the USA. So according to the credit availability, because America is almost, we can say, they are using credit cards. They are using plastic currencies only, while we Indians are using physical cash and all. So general availability of credit is also going to matter your business. Then propensity of people to spend, how people spending. Like in Gujarat, in Rajkot, we can say every weekend people are spending on the food, but in some other states they are not spending. So propensity of people to spend, natural resources, availability of natural resources, literacy level, like in the Kerala, in the Gujarat, in the north, you can check that out, in the Bangla also. So literacy level is also going to affect. Now in India, in certain states, Zoom and this one, Google Meet, they are not successful because of less literacy level. So literacy level also matters. Nature of competition, whether it is cutthroat or healthy competition, population and level of disposable income. So these are not only, there could be many, there are n number of economic factors that going to affect your businesses. These are the few ones. Now social factors, beliefs, values, attitudes, customs, traditions, opinions, lifestyle, languages, all those things, status symbol. Like in Kerala, if you go to Kerala, people consider gold as their status symbol. If you go to Delhi and some other states, if you have Mercedes, then it will be considered as your status symbol. So in different states, you will find different status symbol. Then large number of women into the labor market. If women are there into the labor market, then the saving ratio will be high. If men is there in the labor market, then spending ratio will be high. You can understand this sentence, because girls, or you can say the women, are saving oriented and men are spending oriented. So it can create a major difference. Then accelerating interest of consumers, employees in quality of life. How the quality of life is there, like Finland, Netherlands, Switzerland and few other countries. Denmark is also there. The quality of life is really very much high, and that is also going to affect your business. Now shift in the age distribution of the population. How many percentage youngsters are there? How many percentage senior citizens are there? Like India having the highest youth, it's good for them. While Japan, they have highest percentage of 45 to 55 age, or belongs to that. So this is also going to affect your business. And political factors, legal and regulatory frameworks, fair trade decisions related to FARA and FEMA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, Foreign Exchange Management Act, antitrust laws, tax programs, minimum wage legislation. Previously, it was only 140 rupees minimum wage, but nowadays it has been increased to 250 plus. The minimum wage has been increased very nicely. Then pollution and pricing policies. Government is also precisely, very narrowly working on these points. That is pollution and pricing. If you want to start your business in this one near Vapi, Valsad, Surat, it will be really very much tough for you to get license for that because of pollution. Government has become very much agile for these things now. Then patent laws, government subsidies. Again, the most important point, government subsidies. If you want to start your business in Bihar and UP, government is ready to give you 80% subsidy, but depends on your contract, depends on your terms and conditions. But government is ready to give you great subsidy. We are also getting subsidy in the solar heaters, solar rooftop panels and all those things. So like if you are there in certain businesses where government is promoting, then you will get benefits for the same. Like if you are there in this one, making pencils, erasers and like Apsara, Natraj and class notebooks and something like that, then government is focusing more on that because of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Padhega India, Tabhi to Badhega India. So you will get benefits. So government is focusing on which businesses that you have to identify. Forms of government, whether it is single party, joint party, ruling party and so on. Political ideology, what is the political ideology? Whether the government is, like if you talk about the Nepal, then in the last 17 years, 17 prime minister has been changed in Nepal. Every year you will get new prime minister. So you can consider there could not be growth. But in India, in Gujarat, if you talk about Gujarat, since last 20 years, you can see that BJP government is stable. So you can see growth, whether it depends, it differs from person to person. But yes, government is stable since last 20 years. Then product research grants, how many grants you are getting for your new research? America and Israel, both are highest in that. Japan is also there, but America and Israel, both are spending a lot behind research. Then technological factors like new products, how many new products are launching in the market, improvement in the existing product. Like previously, if you consider Maruti Suzuki with the Maruti 800 and now the latest one, that is Ciaz, you can see lots of differences are there. So improvement in existing products and product line. Then manufacturing or marketing techniques, how you are manufacturing. If you talk about the automobile sector, then previously they used to spray the car body. Entire car body has been sprayed with the colors. Nowadays, what they are using, the latest technology. They have prepared one pool of colors. They dip that car in that pool for 20 to 30 seconds, and the entire car will get color. So this is the technology, latest one. How technology makes changes to your businesses. Now, the last one, the ecological factor. We have created pollution everywhere. Nowadays, pollution is there in the space too. But apart from that, air, land, soil, we have polluted everything. So now what government is focusing, this is the last point. Now what government is focusing, that because of certain pollutions, we people are going to suffer in the future. Right now also we are suffering. Certain states, certain countries, the recent example is China, you can see they are suffering from this one flood and all. So global warming is there in certain country, 54.4 degree temperature, world's highest temperature they have recorded. So global warming, loss of habitat, biodiversity, air, water, land pollutions, we have done. We are the responsible for that. But now what we can do for the upliftment? So for that, the next concept is there, that is eco-efficiency. Now what do we mean by eco-efficiency? Government is happy with your production. You increase your production, we are happy with you. The more you produce, the more taxes we will get. We are happy with that. But the thing is that what we expect, you increase your production, but same time you decrease the utilization of the natural resources or the resources, whatever you are using. We expect you reduce the utilization of those resources and same time you increase the production. And if you are able to do it, then it will be considered as eco-efficiency. And the classmate book is doing. Like previously, they were using lots of trees. They were cutting lots of trees to prepare a paper and all those things. But nowadays, they have reduced the utilization of trees and same time they have increased their production. This is what we can say the efficiency, so that we can reduce the pollution and reduce the consumption of natural resources. So guys, today we'll keep up to this only. In the next session, we'll start with the Porter's 5 force model. Any doubts for today's session? Business model, then external environment, then stakeholders. Any doubts for this? Any doubts, guys? Okay, done. Chalo. So we'll keep up to this only. That's it for the day. Please write down your enrollment number in the chat box.